because tonight what we are talking about is the ultimate test of leadership. This is leadership night. And so tonight we want to talk about a really cool subject, and that is creating positive change. And we're going to be using Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as an example of change tonight as we start to move through this. So make sure I got my slides, everything's good. So here we go. Every new idea goes through 3 phases. And some of you are going to recognize this. The first phase is people say, that won't work. How many of you have pitched an idea, have had an idea, and what everybody around you says is, oh, that won't work. You can't do that. That'll never, they make all their excuses because that's the sad little world most people live in. When I got into USANA, when I got into direct sales, that's exactly what people said. You did what? You going to do what full time? That ain't going to work. Those things never work. Well, I basically told them, I said, look, I beg to differ. This industry has created lots of millionaires. This industry has created lots of people that make 6 figures. This industry creates 80% of the female income earners that break $100,000 a year. So, you know what I always tell people? When people say it won't work, I look them dead in the eye and say, no, I need to correct you on that. It won't work for you because you don't believe. I do, and it will work for me. I don't want people around me that tell me it won't work, but you're going to have a lot of people that do that. You're going to have people say, "Oh, it costs too much. You'll never get your money back on that," or that idea that's going to be too expensive. It's too outlandish. Well, if y'all saw the price tag on the computer that I just ordered to upgrade this, there would be people saying that too, because you know what? A home computer is free compared to the thing I just bought. But I don't care about the cost. What I focus on is the benefit. What is the benefit that this machine is going to bring? What is the benefit of what the new website is going to bring? What is the benefit of taking technology and using it to take a message to the 4 corners of the world and giving anybody, even people that don't have this technology, the ability to build their business from anywhere to anywhere? So to people that say it costs too much, I say, I can't afford not to do this. This computer can't afford not to have it. This technology can't afford not to have it. Because I have a handful of people that is growing rapidly that understand what it means to have this kind of energy, this kind of horsepower, this kind of technology, and this kind of vision in a home-based business model that can allow people to get information about a great product, a great opportunity, and a great business anywhere, anytime, anywhere you can get internet. Cost too much? Pfft. When you hear that around this business, the only people that are going to tell you that these ideas cost too much are people who have no concept of what it actually costs to start a business. I mean, a major name sandwich franchise, I won't use the actual name, but let's just say they make sandwiches with a lot of bread and you go through and you tell them what you want on it. These businesses are $123,000 a store, and you can make about $60,000 a year if you do everything right. Folks, you can make that much on a single business center business, 1 BC. You can make $60,000 with bonuses. Why would you spend $123,000? This costs too much? People gonna say it. And then you're gonna have the people, and it's the same people. Well, I thought that was a good idea all along. In other words, you're gonna have people that are just gonna say, oh, that'll never work. And oh, that costs too much. And they're gonna have an excuse at every turn, at every corner. And then they're gonna be the ones that once it does work and once it does come to fruition, they're gonna, oh, I thought that was a good idea all along. From the book, Martin Luther King Jr. on Leadership by Donald T. Phillips is the following excerpt. I'm going to bring this up and I'll put this on full screen for you. In only 12 years of public life, wrote Harry Belafonte and Stanley Levison, he evoked more respect for black people than a preceding century had produced. The Saturday Review noted, Negroes in this past decade experienced the birth of human dignity, eating in restaurants, studying in schools, traveling in public conveyances side by side with whites for the first time in a century. Martin Luther King himself said, and where do we go from here? People are often led to causes and often become committed to great ideas through persons who personify those ideas. They have to find the embodiment of the idea in flesh and blood in order to commit themselves to it. Martin Luther King, February 13th, 1961. People all the time ask me, how do I get people to want to do this? How do I get people to want to buy this product? How do I get people to want to do this business? And my answer is always the same. It has to come from the heart. People have to believe that you believe you. They have to believe that you are sold out to this. They have to believe that quitting is not an option. They have to believe that you are going to go the distance on this business. And when people believe to that level, they will follow you anywhere. But they have to know that you're sold out. This wonderful couple that I signed up this evening, I talked to them for the first time today on the phone. Still have not met them. Talked to them on the phone. I talked to the wife. I sent her a couple videos I've made that she could look at. And then I got on the phone with her and her husband tonight. And I walked them through their options. They asked a question of me that told me that I was on track. And the question was this: if we join, I only have one condition. And I said, great, what's that? They said, that you sign us up and personally sponsor us. That you don't put us under somebody else that's going to work with us, but you put us in a place where you are going to work with us yourself. And I said, of course. That's what I always do when I'm the sponsor. But I loved the question because what it tells me is in a matter of hours, I earned their trust and their respect. I overcame their fears. And they joined not just because of a great product and a great company, although that is part of it, but they joined me. And people will join you when you embody what you do. When these products, when this business is what your life is about and becoming, and it's what you embody in your heart and soul, people will follow you anywhere. But what these people sensed is I've been with the same company for 13 years. That I believe in the product, that I believe in the company, and I believe in the leadership. Come follow me. You want to build a business and you want to lead a dynamic team. Your team has to find the embodiment of an idea, the vision of USANA, in flesh and in blood in order to commit themselves to it. Your people got to know you're in it to win it. They got to know you're in it for the long haul. They got to know that you're in it for them. And then they'll follow you. Leadership is leaders acting. Acting as well as caring, inspiring, and persuading others to act for certain shared goals that represent the values, the wants, the needs, the aspirations, and expectations of themselves and the people they represent. You want to build a team. You want to build a customer base. You want to build a dynamic team where people will push and grow. You have to lead by acting. You have to care. You have to inspire and persuade others to act. Do you know what persuasion means? It means getting people to do something they don't currently want or think they can do. That's what persuasion is. You have to be persuasive. A lot of people get a lot of negative energy around persuasion because, I just feel like I'm just trying to sell them on the product. Well, that's your stuff. I know I'm trying to sell them on the product, and I'm good with it because this product will help them. Then people get hung up. Well, I feel like I'm trying to push them to join the business. I am. And I make no apologies for that because I can't help them if they're not in. Are you letting people walk away and walk away and walk away and walk away and think you're getting some kind of merit badge because you're releasing people back to their life of I don't get my dreams when they had it in the palm of your hand and all you needed to do was be persuasive and help get them to act and buy or join? Folks, there ain't no bonus points for letting people not get a product that can change their life. There is no merit badge of martyrism for not letting someone join a business that could have changed their life. When you are persuasive, people can still say no. They can still walk away. But if you aren't persuasive, if you aren't powerful, if you aren't passionate in what you believe, their perception is it ain't that big of a deal to you and you don't care and it's not that big of a deal. But what I tell people, like I often do, I don't want you to walk away from this table and not join. Because if you walk away from this table and don't join, you're probably not gonna. And then I can't serve you and I can't help you. But if you do join, you got 30 days to send everything back and get out. So if you sign up now, I can help you. If you don't sign up now, someone else is probably going to steal your dream and keep you from changing your life. But it's not the words, folks. It's my passion. It's my urgency. It's my, come on, we got to get this thing done that gets people to the finish line. If you think that every time you show the product or you show the plan and you get the plan and you just sit back and say, okay, what do you want to do? I want to go and think, okay, that's great. Man, you're going nowhere. This is what Martin Luther King said. You have to be sold out to what this is. You have to care more about the result for them than you care about how you look or how you show up or what people think. Man, I don't worry about that. I don't care. Love me, hate me, I don't care. God loves me, my wife loves me, my kids love me. I know I love me. That's all I need. Everything else is optional because for me to be a servant, for me to be able to care, for me to be able to persuade, for me to be able to inspire, for me to get other people to act, I got to put my own stuff on a shelf and say, right now, it's about you. It's about yours. And if I don't get you on this product, I screwed up because now I can't get you to get the benefit because you're not on it. If I don't get you in the business and you said I solved your problem, listen, if you don't want to do this, that's fine. But if I let you patronize fear instead of going after your dreams, that's on me. Because I didn't overcome it. I didn't persuade you to act beyond your fear. That's what leaders do. And we're not doing them a disservice, we're doing them a service. Because that's what leaders do. They persuade others to act. Do you see the difference? If you think that's self-serving, that's your stuff. And you need to work on that. Leaders persuade others to act for shared goals that represent the values, wants, needs, and aspirations and expectations of themselves and the people that they represent. That means if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for them, and you can't help them if they're not in. Persuasion. Excuse me. The genius of leadership lies in the manner in which leaders care about, visualize, and act on their own and their followers' values and motivations. Excuse me. So let's look at 3 key points here. Leaders omit the use of coercive power. You see, there's a difference between persuasion and coercion. I'm not trying to get anybody to use this product that doesn't want to be on this product. I'm not trying to get anybody to join this business that doesn't want to join this business. If you don't want to do it, I don't want you on my team. So I'm not going to coerce. I'm going to omit that. But leaders have a bias for action. I will take action, and I will be persuasive, and I will push to get people to do what they just said they want to do. So if you tell me I want to lose weight and keep it off, I'm going to be persuasive to help get you to what you say you want. If people say, yes, you have clearly shown me how I can be home and raise my kids, I'm going to have a bias for action. I'm going to help you push through your fear and make the decision, not walk out the door because you're afraid or you don't know what people are going to think or you don't know if you can do it or not. What if I fail? I mean, what if games, worst game you can play. Oh, don't play what if games. Don't even go there. Don't take that class, as Jim Rohn would say. But I have a bias for action. You say you want in, let's get it done. Why? Because leaders act with the respect for the values of their people. Leaders act with respect for the values of the people. We have a certain value system on Team Excel, and that is everything in excellence. Everything in excellence. That means we put the team ahead of the individual. So what that means is when I'm showing the plan, I put how I feel behind the need of that person. So if I have to get uncomfortable, I get uncomfortable to get them where they need to be. If I have to worry about how I look, I don't respect the value of my people as much as I respect the value of how I show up. Leaders act with respect for the values of the people. So once you've identified what the value system of your team is and what you're about, you stick to it. If integrity is who you are, be integrous. If character is who you are, have great character. If excellence is what you're about, live in excellence. If you got all of that, stick to it because you got a plan. Martin Luther King said in 1958, I neither started the protest nor suggested it. I simply responded to the call of the people for a spokesman. Wow. Leaders create positive change. I didn't start the protest, didn't even suggest it. I simply said, I'll be the spokesman. I'll step up, I'll take the mic. Quarterbacks always want the ball. Leaders always want the ball. So how do we change? Listen. Lead by being led. The slowest way to go and the slowest way to grow is to be a know-it-all or be a do-it-all or think you got it all, when there's people farther down the road than you that are willing to show you and help you and guide you. Every time I want to learn something new in my life, the first thing I do is I have a heaping helping of humble pie and I get myself in check. And then I go find somebody to listen to that is an expert in what I want to learn. Leaders lead by being led because they listen. Are you being teachable in your business? Who is mentoring you? Who are you listening to? And are you hearing them? Or are you trying to reinvent the wheel and do it all on your own? This is a lousy business to reinvent the wheel in because the thing is, the wheel we got, it rolls really good. And when I got in this business, the first thing I learned in this business was shut up and listen. And if people would have told me to suck tomato soup through a straw in my head doing the alphabet backwards, I'd have done it without question, because the people I was listening to had what I wanted. They had success. They had time freedom. They had money. They had toys. They had the ability to come and go. They had the life that I wanted, and they had the same business I had. So I'm all ears. Tell me what you did, and just let me go do likewise. And I went and I did likewise. I just did a lot of likewise. Just like we do it now. We're doing a lot of likewise right now because we go into a whole nother level. But we do it, folks, by listening. Only those who do not seek power are qualified to hold it. Plato. You see, the desire for lifelong learning fosters an equally strong tendency to listen. I love when we get new distributors in our business because I want to hear their fresh viewpoints. I want to hear their ideas. I love hearing ideas from people that have no idea what they're doing in this industry yet, because none of it's jaded, none of it's colored. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. But everybody has something to offer, whether it's day one, they've been in a month, a year, a decade. Everybody's got something to share. And the most powerful leaders are people that always have an ear out for new, fresh, different. When you become a great listener, in fact, when we do the Art of Communication, if listening is something you struggle with, I really encourage you to come to the seminar, because we spend a big chunk of it on learning how to listen. Why? Because listening builds trust. Listening enables learning. Listening facilitates understanding. And most importantly, listening creates a connection. Using the example of this delightful couple that I signed up today. 3 phone calls, same day, they're ready to go. Why? Because I spent a lot of time listening and built rapport, trust. Then they listened and learned. We created an understanding of what this is going to look like, but we connected. I know what they want. I know what their dream is. I know why they're in this. Ironically, she works at the same place I worked at in 1989 when I moved to Florida. Connectivity. Listening allows you to connect to your client. If you've read John Maxwell's book, Everyone Communicates But Few Connect, and you haven't learned how to connect to people yet, read it again and again and again and again. I don't care if you have to read the book 10 times. Darren Hardy says, I'd rather someone read the same book 10 times over and own it than read 10 books one time and not own any of it. This is worth mastering. King was a lifelong, continuous learner. He constantly learned from experience so that he could do better the next time around. And that's one of the things that we've talked about so much, is failing forward, learn, grow, learn, grow, learn, grow, always be in self-analysis. Martin Luther King says, I'm going to put this up on the screen, I subject myself to endless self-analysis. He once said in an interview, I question and soul search constantly into myself to be certain as I can that I am fulfilling the true meaning of my work, that I am maintaining my sense of purpose, that I am holding fast to my ideals, that I am guiding my people to the right direction. The people closest to Martin Luther King often noted Martin's personal quest to do better and to be better. Coretta Scott King, who I've had the privilege of hearing, if you've been in USANA a long time, she spoke at one of our conventions, for instance, mentioned that he criticized himself more severely than anyone else did, and that he was always the first to say, maybe I made a mistake. Powerful stuff. So let's talk about the 4 L's of a leader. Loving, listening, learning, leading. You got to love what you do, and you got to love your people. We're family on our team. Now, I know in some genres, they teach that, oh, you don't want family because that creates weakness. Man, if there is anything stronger than a family, I want to know what it is. Our team is a family, and I'm proud of that. And we love our family. Leaders are listeners. They hear the needs of the teams. Leaders are learners. And leaders are leading by example. To communicate and connect with others, there's 5 main reasons for a leader to master the art of public speaking. And one of the reasons I offer the art of communication is because in our business, the only thing we do is communication. We don't make the product. We tell people about it. We don't deliver the product. We don't make the market. We don't do anything except communicate to people that there's a product and there's an opportunity. All we do is communicate, and it's something that we absolutely have to master. So, if you want to articulate, reinforce, and intensify the values and beliefs of an organization, you got to believe it. You got to be sold out to it. You have to be willing to educate, persuade, and sell people on new ideas. I mean, I remember when we built this business, it was all done in hotels and on telephone calls. I mean, we were either standing in a hotel or we had this thing in our ear. It's the only way we had to build this business. But then webcasting came along, and we had to educate, persuade, and sell people that it was a new idea and we should do it. And on our team, we were doing webcasts 2 years before home office even started doing it. And then we started this thing called broadcasting, high definition video broadcast. Usually it works great. Tonight, not so much. We're working on that. But we are still the only distributor in this company that operates in video broadcasting as our platform for building our business so that we can realize our vision and our dream of helping people build from anywhere to anywhere. And I can't imagine anything else better to market than our trademark, and we actually do have this trademarked, putting the home back into home-based business. Isn't that cool that nobody got that before we did? Got federally trademarked. I own it. Putting the home back in home-based business. And so we had to educate, persuade, and sell people on the idea that you put small groups of people together all over the world and you can build a huge business. And yet it works. But that's communication. We have to be willing to ensure and inform members of the organization on what action the leader is taking. One of the things that I'm going to be taking up a notch in social media, on Facebook, on broadcasting, is letting people know what we're doing. Why? Because I'm a student of my own teaching. And I have to do what I'm teaching, and I need to do a better job because we broadcast, because we're not standing in front of our audience. I need my peeps, my family, to know that I'm out there showing the plan, that I'm out there showing the product, that I'm out there building with my team, doing exactly what my silvers that want to go gold are doing, what my golds that want to go ruby are doing, what my emeralds that are going diamond want to do, and so on. And we need to make sure that the team knows what action we're taking, and you need to make sure your team knows what actions you're taking. This is not an armchair business where you sit in a chair and ask everybody else to go out and do it. This is a business where you lead like you go into war. You at the front, you're the general, and you say charge. We have to be willing to build support and enthusiasm for our team. And we need to be able to communicate in a way that people get excited. I mean, I don't know how you get more excited than taking $1 billion company to $2 billion in about a fourth of the time they did it the first time. I mean, man, if that doesn't get you excited in a plan that puts almost half in the compensation plan, man, you don't have a pulse. We have to be able to communicate in a way to inspire people to take action. We have to do this in a way to inspire people to take action. Now, next week we're going to continue and we're going to talk about the keys to Dr. King's speeches. What did he do that got people to move? And I hope you're enjoying the study because he's a man that changed the world because he stepped up. Do you want to change your world? All you got to do is step up and step into it. We have an amazing opportunity. And you know what? Sometimes things go our way. Sometimes things blow up in our face. I mean, I'm not real happy about the tech tonight, but I can't worry about that because the message is what's important. I know you all forgive me if my microphone wasn't working for a while. But what we've got to understand is that if we want to change our world, we have to step up and say, I'll be the spokesman. I'll be the leader. I'll put my agenda to the side. I'll serve the people that are under me, that are following me, that are part of my family. And together we will change lives. And I'll tell you what, when you're in the business of changing lives, the life that gets changed the most is yours. Till next time, I'm your host, Tony Dom. This has been Revolutionize Your Business. Have a great week. Change a life. Have your life changed. We'll see you next time. God bless.